In the hills of Sultanpur, Pakistan, lives a 6-year-old mute girl named Shada. One afternoon, she is playing on a hill when she accidentally falls off it. When she doesn't return home at the end of the day, the villagers organize a search party. After hours of searching, they find the girl on a branch jutting out from the hill. She had been stuck on it all day but couldn't call for help due to her disability. The next morning, her parents and neighbors discuss what should be done to help her. An old man suggests that they take her to the shrine of the Sufi Saint Nizamuddin Aulia in Delhi, India. The religious family believes that a visit to the sacred shrine will bring peace and happiness, and, most importantly, restore Shahida's speech. Shahida's father used to be in the army and had fought against the Indian army. He is sure that he will not be provided with a visa for India. Therefore, her mother, Razia, takes on the task of traveling far from the village for the first time. The journey goes as planned for the most part. The two reach the shrine, make offerings, and take a train back to their home country. On the way back, the train stops for repairs overnight. When everyone is asleep, Shahida notices a lamb stuck in a well just outside the train. She doesn't think twice before stepping out to help the animal. However, the train restarts before she can get back to her mother. The girl runs after it, but is eventually left behind. In a desperate attempt to go the same way her mother did, she boards a cargo train. But to her dismay, it goes in the opposite direction and stops at Kurukshetra, India. Razia notices her daughter is missing and stops the train. Police are assigned to search for the girl around the tracks where she was lost. However, they cannot find her as Shahida has already reached a different location. Razia meets her husband, who is worried sick about their daughter. They cannot get an immediate visa back to India, to their dismay. The parents have no other way but to pray that their daughter is safe. Meanwhile, Shahida is now lost in a different country with no way to communicate. At a religious celebration, she spots a stranger eating at a roadside restaurant. The stranger is the kind-hearted Pawan Kumar Chaturvedi, who invites her to eat with him. After a few minutes of trying to get her to talk, he realizes she is mute and starts calling her Money. A hungry Money finishes the meal and follows Pawan everywhere. Assuming she got separated from her parents during the festival, he asks her to stay in front of a temple. Pawan is a devoted Hindu Brahmin and an ardent devotee of Lord Hanuman. He believes that Lord Hanuman will take Money home if she stays in front of his temple. When Money still won't stop following him, he takes her to the police station. But since she cannot give them any details about her parents, the police can only wait for someone to file a missing person report. Do these people not have pen and paper? Until her parents are found, Money needs a place to stay. Therefore, Pawan takes her in. On the way to his home in Delhi, he tells Money to call him Mama, Uncle/Dad, if she ever speaks in the future. He also starts naming different Indian cities, asking her to nod if she knows which city her parents are in. All the passengers on the bus help him, but none of them name cities outside of India. While talking, Pawan tells everyone about how he came to Delhi for work. A flashback shows the time he was in high school. He was an average student who could never pass the final exam. All his friends copied and went on with their lives. But Pawan refused to copy or lie, being a true devotee of Lord Hanuman. He finally passed on his 11th attempt and came to Delhi to look for a job. He stayed with his father's friend, Pandi, a strict Hindu who refused to let followers of any other religion into his home. Pandi's daughter, Rasika, offered Pawan a job at the school where she taught and fell in love with his innocent personality. But being the strict father he is, Pandi asked Pawan to build his own house before marrying his daughter. Since then, Pawan and Rasika have been working hard to collect money. The two are set to be married sometime next year. Everyone on the bus is impressed by his story. He and Money reach his home, where Rasika greets them at the door. She is glad that Pawan is helping a child in need, but Pandi doesn't feel the same way. He worries about the possibility of Money belonging to a different religion. Pawan argues that she is Hindu because of her fair skin color and persuades Pandi to let her stay for a month. Money cries every day in memory of her parents, even though Pawan and Rasika treat her like their own daughter. Since the entire family is vegetarian and Money is used to eating meat with every meal, she hardly ever finishes her food. One day, Pawan and Rasika find her at a Muslim neighbor's house, devouring homemade chicken. Pawan takes her to a restaurant that night and lets her eat whatever she wants, even though eating meat goes against his religion. Money really likes the shiny bangles sold by the roadside. One day, while walking through a market, she innocently grabs a packet of bangles before being stopped by the seller. Pawan forces her to return it and takes her to the temple to apologize to God for stealing. As he teaches her to join her hands, Money sneaks into a nearby mosque. Pawan hesitates to follow her inside, but does so anyway. To his total shock, he sees her reading the Quran in front of a shrine. For a few minutes, he feels like she betrayed him because he would never have befriended a Muslim. But Rasika makes him realize that she is a human before being a Muslim. She hates that her father discriminates against people because of their religion and wants Pawan to be different. Pawan understands, and he rushes to the mosque to find Money, but by then, she has already left. As he nervously searches for her, she runs to him and hugs him tightly. In that moment, he accepts her completely, overcoming his irrational fear of going against his religion. That night, there is a cricket match between Pakistan and India. The entire family watches it on TV, cheering for India, except for Money, who cheers when Pakistan scores. When the Pakistani team wins the match, she dances and kisses their flag through the TV. Pawan walks up to her and asks her if she is from Pakistan. After weeks of shaking her head at every Indian city, Money finally nods. Pandy is furious. Being Muslim was bad enough, but since the girl is from Pakistan, he can no longer allow her to stay in his house. Pawan promises to hand her over to the Pakistani embassy the next day. However, the embassy worker cannot allow him a visa without a passport. In Money's case, they don't even know her real name, so granting a visa is impossible. Moreover, a riot occurs in front of the embassy, which closes all visa processing for a month. As a last resort, Pawan takes her to a travel agent on Pandy's suggestion. The agent promises to take the girl across the border and asks for 100,000 rupees. Pawan and Rasika give up the funds they had collected for their house to help Money. The next day, Pawan reluctantly takes Money to the travel agent's office and leaves after an emotional farewell. On his way home, he notices a street vendor selling shiny bangles. He remembers Money liked them and buys her one. However, upon returning to the travel agent's office, he discovers he has been conned. The agent has taken the girl to a brothel and is about to sell her into prostitution. The otherwise calm Pawan loses his temper upon seeing the agent counting money he earned from Money. He throws the man out the window and brings Money home again. Pawan has made up his mind to take Money home himself. Although he has no contacts or ideas about Pakistani villages, he packs his bag and heads for the border. A few miles from it, they meet an undercover agent named Ali, who illegally transports people across the border through a tunnel. After hearing Money's story, he agrees to take them for free. When they arrive on the Pakistani side of the border, Ali flees. But being a devotee of Lord Hanuman, Pawan refuses to leave without asking the guards for permission. When the officers find him, they beat him as Money watches and cries. Pawan pretends to laugh, even while being beaten, so the girl won't be afraid. After discovering the reason for his trip, the lead soldier asks him to do whatever he wants in the next 10 minutes before they return for the next round. Pawan decides to wait for them because they still haven't allowed him to leave. Although the idea is idiotic and he gets beaten again, he is finally allowed to leave with the soldier's permission. In the next scene, he and Money are at a restaurant. Money sees a policeman's handcuffs and steals them, assuming they are a bangle. The policeman finds out and throws Pawan in jail, labeling him as an Indian spy due to the lack of a passport. We are then introduced to a struggling journalist, Chan Nawab. He hears about the supposed spy and rushes to the police station to interview him. He gets a few vague answers from Pawan and reports to the media company, which does not take him seriously. Inside the police station, a policeman interrogates Pawan but refuses to believe anything he says. Suddenly, Money spots an image on a table calendar and recognizes it as her village. Pawan is overjoyed until the policeman forces Money to open her mouth. Pawan loses his temper and attacks the man, inviting more trouble for himself. He manages to defeat the officers and flee from the police. Nawab sees him escape and follows him. They board the bus where Pawan shows the driver his destination and also tells him Money's story. After finding out that he is actually a good person, Nawab and the rest of the travelers decide to help him. They hide him and Money on top of the bus when the police come searching for them. At night, Nawab, Pawan, and money stay in a mosque. A religious scholar named Azad also helps them and hides them from the policemen searching for the supposed spy throughout the city. One of Azad's students spots Switzerland written on the image Money thought was her village. The group is back to square one. After that, Azad dresses Pawan and Nawab in a burqa and manages to send them out of the city without the police noticing. Pawan, who was oblivious to Islam a few weeks ago, feels strange in their traditional clothing. He apologizes to his god, but is ready to do anything for money. With that attitude, Pawan could become a rapper. Over the next few days, Pawan and Nawab take money to several different places, asking people if they know her. Nawab documents their journey and everything about money and Pawan's relationship. He tries to sell the documentary to news channels, but they refuse to air it, claiming it is boring. They have to find another way to spread the word so people on the internet can help. One day, they go to a famous mosque where they find police searching for them. Nawab realizes that the police are using his cameraman friend to gather information on their whereabouts. The trio immediately flees the holy site and gives the cameraman false information to distract the police. Following that, the group is reviewing footage from their time at the mosque when Money recognizes her mother in one of the clips. They see her boarding a specific bus and go to that bus driver the next day. Upon asking, he names all the villages that pass through his daily route. One of them is Sultanpur, which Money confirms is her home. Nawab and Pawan hug, having finally found their destination. Nawab also uploads the video documentary to YouTube, and the police get a clue about their location through it. On the way to Sultanpur, they stop the bus for inspection. With no way out, Pawan comes into the view of the police and pretends to run away. While the men are busy trying to catch him, Nawab takes Money and drives her back to her village. In the next scene, we see Money running to her mother, who couldn't be happier to see her, as she is reunited with her family. Elsewhere, Pawan is being beaten by the police. The documentary on YouTube goes viral, and the biggest news channels begin covering the story. Finally, people learn that Pawan is not a spy and is being held in prison for helping a little girl. Both Indians and Pakistanis give him all their support, but the Pakistani officials refuse to let him go. They torture him in prison, beating him for hours, choking him to his last breath, and starving him. Nawab then responds with another video, this time on a bigger platform, asking people to gather at the border and ensure that Pawan returns home safe and sound. The plan works, and several people from both sides arrive at the border in droves. Rasika and her family are also among the crowd, hoping he returns home. Finally, the officials have to give in. The crowd erupts, chanting Pawan's name as he crosses the border. We then see Money in the crowd, waving her hands but unable to call out to him. Suddenly, she shouts Mama, the name Pawan wanted her to call him when they first met. The crowd falls silent as she shouts goodbye. Pawan turns around in shock. The movie ends as they run toward each other and embrace.